All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I was really curious what I was going to do alongside MVIS, and there was some really interesting comments that got dropped on NVOS. So you know what? I thought it'd be beautiful to connect the two. I'm going to start just by saying, look, I do my best to really only let these lines dictate what I do. All right, it's my way of trying to make myself a robot, right? It's my way of making myself some like AI algorithm. A lot of people know this like BlackRock one. I think it's called Aladdin. I'll be honest with you, I love that name, by the way, but whatever. I like the lines. All right. Obviously, when I get comments from people, I start learning a little bit more about these random four letters, and you know, I will be honest, I'm starting to get really curious about MVIS. Like, Mavis looks like a badass stock, for real. NVOS, I don't think the same thing, all right? Me personally, I actually rarely trade healthcare stocks, all right? Anything that can like get a thumbs up or a thumbs down from the FDA or whatever government agency, that scares me. All right, I am more in control with a tech stock because I know what to do when Nasdaq's good. I know what to do when Nasdaq's bad, and I can, adjust as the individual stock tells me, right? But look, I am not going to be spending any time trying to learn what NVOS does, what their path to profitability is or looks like, or any of that nonsense. I'm really not. Am I saying that that's accurate? No. Am I saying I agree with what Just Sharded basically said? I do, actually. With Mavis, again, I still haven't put the time into it yet, but yeah, I don't think you can compare the two at all. And again, I think I'm a little biased because I love tech, right? But yeah, just my thoughts, and I'm glad it gave me a cool stock to put alongside of Mavis. So I'm gonna start here and obviously get there, but before we do that, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We're gonna take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal as well as diagonal trend lines, support and resistance lines. All those I draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing with your friends, comment good or bad. I know I said a little controversial stuff in the beginning, so I will not be offended if you disagree with me, I swear, and I'm not gonna like bash you or anything like that, right? But hey, anything you can do would be beyond appreciated, okay? So look, let's get into it. And honestly, look, 7.5%, 7.75%, that is actually a monster day. I know when people think monster days, they're thinking like 30%, 40%, even just low double digits, right? But for real, if you're pushing 7-8% a day, those are life-changing numbers, all right? So I am not here discrediting this 7% day. The problem is the day didn't do enough at all. And as I zoom in, it should be pretty up. We did not get back over the 2 lines. All right. We close at 0.13. And obviously you can see that the 50 and the 100 both read 0.13. However, if I had more decimals, I can clearly see the green line is still under both. That is not good. Because where are we right now? We are under all 5 moving averages, and that's not where I like to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I am so glad the confirmation was at least this instead of something worse that would have taken us to 11, right? We're at least taking, we are over. We did recapture 50% of this red, all right? Did we get over the open of this? We didn't. Again, it reads 0.13, but again, I wish I had more decimals because I do not think that the close of this was better than the open of this, right? Like, I think the white line is over the green line as I'm like staring at my computer screen zoomed in. So we could not get over even the beginning of one of the smaller candles to the left. You know what I mean? So This is a little far out, but yeah, we at least took 50% of that, I guess. But yeah, I am actually just technical wise not very impressed with this, okay? And look, if you watched one of my last videos, one of my mistakes was wondering if okay, so let me draw a trend line real quick, okay? I'm going to delete it because let me just at least talk my thoughts out, all right? So if I move this to here, right, basically the top of that, and then I move this to the right there, right? If I take this corner and this corner, this is kind of telling me, hey, we've broken a trend line, all right? And that is what messed me up on one of the last trend lines. It was basically from here to there, okay? So when I was using just these two, I thought we had actually broken the trend line, and no, lo and behold, it was this, right? So what's the moral of the story? I think that we're just making a steeper downtrend. I really do. I think we're now going here. All right, we were that down, now we're going even lower. And unless we can close, dude, honestly, I'm trying to like guess the number. Like this thing needs to close at a high 14. You know what it needs to do? It needs to close at the close of 5.3. If you can do me the favor of look at something else that has more decimals, this is where it needs to. And you know, I know it's really high. It's almost actually saying get me back to the 8 moving average. But I need to genuinely believe we're going to break those 2 moving averages, the 50 and the 100, and the downtrend as well. And honestly, I'm not sure tomorrow does it. I would actually not be surprised if we come back to 12 or like a low 13. That is my actual guess. Excuse me, I'm going to keep this line. We'll see what this thing does actually. But yeah, NVOS, I'm not sold just yet. I am actually seeing a stock that is under all the moving averages. It's definitely under all those, and the 200s up here. I'm just trying to remind everyone. And I see 11 well before I see 15. And straight up, I am not buying this stock until 16. I will not touch NVOS sub 15. No way. If we can get over this trend line, I'm down. I would not even ride from here to there. Hell no. I need to get over all these moving averages before I touch this stock, for real. However, if we hit 16, I'll take a ride again. Because, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I like the swing movements on it when it hits, all right? So, NVOS. I spent a good amount of time on this. There's really not a lot to talk about on MVIS because MVIS is just badass, I'll be honest with you. But where are we on the weekly? We are definitely under the 8 moving average so far, right? So come Friday, this thing better close. Again, 14 cents. This thing needs to close at 14 cents. That'll get me over the 8 on the weekly and, you know, a little closer to the 8 moving average on the daily. So I am still more worried than I am excited. MVIS, Jesus, like, Jesus, right? Like, okay, I've said it on a few videos now. NASDAQ's been crushing it since the 15th, all right? So the fact that this guy got another 5% today, not only did he get another 5% today, the high of the day was 469, the close of the day was 4, like, people were dying to continue to buy MVIS, despite the fact that the RSI is in the 80s, despite the fact that NASDAQ did not have a good day today. Again, it's not a horrible day, but that bad boy gapped down. And this bad boy is actually kind of telling me NASDAQ might even drop to 12.7, give or take, maybe even like a 12.85. All that said, no one cared. No one gave a shit. They just kept saying, let me keep buying, let me keep buying, let me keep buying until someone rang the bell and said, that's it, we're closing up shop. I like, this stock is blowing my mind. It is, and it's, look, I am not here to be a rah-rah fanboy, none of that BS, all right? Like, I can't even get the words out of my mouth, right? Like, this is, I think, showing massive strength of the stock. And really, ultimately, when you break all moving averages, I've said it, you generally violently fly up. And this thing is violently flying up. And man, with more greens than, and like, oh, geez, like, I am struggling to get the words out. It's no joke. I'm raising that one trend line, the horizontal line right there. I think it's going to be very, very difficult to get anywhere lower than 403. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I would be here saying, look, I got to believe that there's going to be a cool down coming. But truth be told, like, the RSI looks like it's peaking, and it wasn't that long ago that we were pushing 92, 92, 92. Jesus, 3 days in a row of 92? Yeah, that wasn't a mess up. 90, 4 days in the 90s, 3 of which were in the 92. Like, this thing might still hold for another few, like, it's cheese it. Like, I'm telling you, there's not a lot of words I can say. And I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we run to 506. I don't even know how good of a line that was. I gotta believe I just kind of put one up. But as I look at it, it actually doesn't look like that bad of a line. Looks like I'm hitting the bottom of that guy, maybe the combo of 2. Like, if not 506, let's just lower it a little bit and call it 5, whatever, right? But my goodness. Again, look, I don't know if we're going to get over this 506. I think that's going to be a really hard line because obviously we have pretty much 2 moving averages on the weekly as well as nothing. Yeah, we're obviously overall. But again, I think the weekly is really highlighting this 506 difficulty. And even on the RSI, like, oh my God. We've definitely been in the 94, 92, Jesus, for weeks on end. My God. I am a little bit at a loss for words, all right? I will be honest, all right? 506, if that breaks, then you're over all the moving averages on the weekly, and I mean so much downtrend, right? And just green, red. Yeah, like, this thing can really, I mean, there is a chance to, like, 4x even from here. Like, MVIS is just 3x. 4 times 3 is 12, sorry. But, man, what a chart. I feel like this wasn't even a technical analysis section, and, like, I don't know if I wasted people's time here, but nonetheless, I'm gonna post this. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.